Ladies and gentlemen, we'll welcome you today to the streets of Long Beach in the state of California, in the United States, for the second round of the IESC GT Series. I'm InsaneLeader13, your host for tonight, and I'm very proud to say that we are going to have an interesting event. This is our first ever time the IESC Series has ever brought their GT division to a street circuit. And what a legendary street circuit is. Long Beach got its start in the 1970s by Dan Gurney, who initially made this circuit as a Formula 5000 race, which later on became a Formula 1 track. After about 8 years, it switched from Formula 1 to IndyCar and has been one of IndyCar's crown jewels since then. However, this is not an IndyCar-only circuit. GT cars through the IMSA series currently run here on the circuit, and it's going to make a very, very interesting time today going forward. We are looking at a field of about 12 drivers anticipated today, although there is, 13 drivers, sorry, and we may have a 14th one coming in. However, Forza Motorsport 7 lobbies are acting a little bit iffy today, to say the least, so it will be interesting to see what's going to happen going forward, who will and will not be able to get started. Last week, if you missed last week, we went to our first points paying race of the season at Daytona, and it was a absolute the way that race ended up turning out. Other things to note, Foxy Gaming ended up putting down one of the fastest laps in qualifying. However, due to swapping cars at the last minute, he ended up having to start in the back of the field. Then, to put on top of that, there ended up being a new driver gaining on the pole in Yunvan for this season. However, he had several poles last season, and just like almost every time he sat on the pole last season, this season, in 8 laps at Daytona, he lagged out. That left the middle third of the event to be dominated by Dino Prime 77 until bad pit stop strategy ended up hurting him, and he would drop to a 4th place finish. His best, though, in the IESC series. At the same time, Rockmaro would come from a 16th place starting position, dead last after missing qualifying, and was able to race his way up to 3rd. AMS Chum had one of the best cars all day long, but after being blocked repeatedly, he would end up voluntarily dropping out of the event with still about a third of the race to go. In the end, it came down to a duel between Dragons X Ferrari and FoxxyGamingHD, which in the end, with just a few laps to go, Foxy Gaming would take the lead for a final time and would not look back. He is currently sitting as our points leader in the IESC GT Series. And we're going to go ahead and pull up the point standings as they are right now, so that way we can kind of give you an idea where everyone stands at the moment. So when it comes to points right now, we're looking at our various team points and our driver points. To start, our driver points. Only 15 drivers have points going into this. Drift King had gotten points after the prior event. However, due to lag incidents, he would drop to 0 points. Sorry, not lag incidents. However, due to penalties, due to blocking cars that were significantly faster on a different lap, he would lose all his points and would basically be disqualified from Daytona. Drift King currently sits at 16th place with 0 points. TTJ111 has a single point. He did start at Daytona, however, he had to drop out due to some poisoning issues. It's anticipated that he should be able to show up next week. UYSQTN also showed up and didn't finish the event, but he did complete enough that he was able to bring home a single point, as well as PM221, who also brought home a single point. AMS Chum, as well, also got a single point. Yunvan got a point, and in addition to that, also got a bonus point for taking the pole in that event. Icy Jack came out of there with 6 points. Excalero came home with 7 points. TacticalFallout had 8 points, but honestly was on a much, much better track points-wise until spinning out about 10 laps into the event. Ludicrous Speed has 9 points, and his teammate Ferraribss has 10 points. Kazubeli has 11 points. Dino Prime has 13 points. Rockmaro has 15, Dragons X Ferrari 17, and Foxy Gaming HD is staying with 22 points. Then in addition, we're also looking at the team points. Thus far, we have 5 teams that are earning points in this series. 5th place is Team Raven West with exactly 16 points right now, as almost all of those points were earned by Rockmaro, only 1 more was taken home by TJ. Team Turbo 6 is currently staying with 19 points, only a mixture of the points earned by Ferraribss and Ludicrous Speed. Third place is TBD Racing with 23 points. SRD, Status Racing Division, has 25 points. And Rebel Racing is staying comfortably with 27 points. So, thus far, the points battle is being extremely interesting going forward. I'm going to be extremely interested to see how it's going to change today, because Long Beach is not like Daytona in the sense that it's a speed track. Long Beach is more focused on pure acceleration and torque. There aren't a whole lot of challenge to the corners, at least on paper, because they're almost all 90-degree corners with the exception of a handful of hairpin-like situations and the fountain corner. This means that it's going to all matter about how much torque and power you can put on that car coming out of the corner through here. A lot of drivers are running very low, trimmed-out setups on their vehicles for today, and it's expected that we may see tire fall-off end up coming quite rapidly throughout this event. Also, this race is only 41 laps, and with that in mind, everyone, although they do have to make one stop, should be able to make it the entire race with only a single tank. We may see some drivers go ahead and try to stop extremely early, or in the event that we have another long green flag run that takes most of the race, or the entire race like we did last week at Daytona, some drivers might try to stay out and stretch all the way into the last possible minute to pit. There are a lot of possibilities when it comes to the pit stop strategy today. Seems like a few drivers may have dropped out for a moment. 1 second. Long Beach as a street circuit is just shy of 2 miles in length, so we're looking at about 80 laps today. However, it's going to be said 41 laps. So as we already have said before, first lap, pace lap, it's counted by Forza, but it doesn't actually mean anything. So during qualifying, it ended up being extremely tight, with 4 different drivers all getting into the 1:20-second mark. And I can't pull up the leaderboard because I forgot Forza lobbies are being kind of iffy right now. We are looking, though, at what should be an interesting battle going forward because, for one, Foxy Gaming, for the first time in a while, is not going to be starting or even qualified on the front row. He started the second row in the 3rd position. It's his teammate, AMS Chum, who ended up taking the pole position. And right alongside AMS Chum, it's PzFrenchFryMan, the defending NASCAR Xbox One Cup Series champion and winner of the Daytona event last season. That was the second points paint event of that season. It's the second points paint event of this season. Maybe he can make it match up perfectly. It'd be very interesting if he was able to do that. Also, in addition, Kazu Belli is continuing to show off the strength of the BMW M3 GT2. He came home and qualified in the 4th position. All 4 drivers, the top 4 drivers, are all qualified in the 1:20-second marks. It's going to be very interesting. Almost everyone else qualified 1:21s. TacticalFallout, however, had a very difficult time during qualifying. He was not able to break out 14th position until the last moment. It's going to be very interesting. So going forward, we also have to talk real quickly about what we're going to be looking at when it comes to car setups and team setups. So as we said before, some teams are focused solely on one machine. For instance, Rebel Racing is focused on the Chevy C7R. We have Team Turbo 6, which is focused solely on the Ford GTs. You also have the Raven West team, with the 2 drivers who are starting today are both driving Lamborghinis. The 3rd Lamborghini driver is not TJ, who is the other Raven West driver, but instead the other Lamborghini driver is Yumvon 101, who is not able to start or even qualify for today's event. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. At the same time, however, you have the entire team that is made up of AMS Chum, FoxxyGamingHD, and Jacob. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. And GTRC Jacob. Those 3 drivers together are all on 3 radically different cars, but they're all earning points for each other. This means that they're not all able to fall back on each other and help build each other's cars up, but they will probably end up trying to pull some various strategy on the racetrack and in pit lane to try and boost their overall team points going forward. Everyone's readied up, and well, almost everyone is readied up, and we're anticipating to go Nürburgring very shortly here, and we'll share the starting lineup with you the moment we get going. I'm having issues with my mouth today. For PzFrenchFryMan, this is his first time in 3 races. This is his second time in 3 races he's actually been a start. However, prior to the last points paying race of the last season, which is at Nürburgring, he had not shown up in a GT race for months. He only made 6 starts in the last season, putting most of his focus instead into the NASCAR Xbox One Cup Series and in his real life. So it's very nice to see a 2-time NASCAR champion and a former winner in this series return to the track here today. As we said before, he's driving in the Raven West colors. As we look down, I also want to point out the bearded guy once again. He's one of our newcomers to the series for this season, and he's been putting on some very, very nice showings. Not necessarily high when it comes to earning points, but it is respectable when it comes to it is respectable considering that he's a season behind. And then, of course, we must mention Kazu Belli, brand new to the series, and he's been putting down some of the fastest times in qualifying. It is very possible that he may be able to break his way into a podium today. And then, in addition, I want to mention Ferraribss237. Last season, he went and bounced around multiple different cars throughout the entire year. Just could not, for the life of him, seem to find a setup that worked for him at all. He never finished within the top 5 of an event. This season, he teamed up with Ludicrous Speed to replace the outgoing drift shots as a Ford GT driver, and it's paid off for him. He nearly got the pole at Lime Rock in that preseason race and finished second to Foxy, and honestly, if not for a few late race mistakes, could very easily have challenged him for victory there. He also was the fastest of the 4 GTs at Daytona, and here in qualifying for Long Beach, again, he was one of the fastest cars on the track. So now we're preparing to load up .14 drivers will be taking the green flag in today's event. So for starters, we're going to have to look to the back of the field, and this is where a very interesting dynamic has kind of played out. Rebel Racing, which put down some of the fastest and strongest runs at Daytona, have come into Long Beach kind of on the wrong foot. They're struggling, trying to find a way to get the traction down and get the power down here at the circuit, as we see our series host, Coco Gamer, leading the field in the pace car right now. As we look in the back of the field, this is TacticalFallout, and right beside him is going to be DinoPrime77. These 2 drivers are really going to have to find a way to get this equipment to work well for them. These are the only 2 Rebel Racing drivers today. They're at the back of the field. In a sense, though, that might be a positive. There's nowhere they can go nowhere but up from here, and it's not likely very many people will expect a lot from them. As we look at number 14 of TacticalFallout right now, and then just in front of him, it's DinoPrime and that number 77, who dominated a good portion of last week's Daytona race. Then we look at the bearded guy 95 in that BMW machine once again. It's going to be very interesting to see if he's able to work his way up to the field. 12th is Expulsoro. Expulsoro, kind of find out, had a blood alcohol level above the legal limit during last week's event at Daytona. However, there are no rules in the series thus far as to if you're allowed to drink or be under the influence of drugs before races. We imagine that will probably get turned around going into the future, but Expulsoro, it's anticipated he's supposed to be sober today. He'll be starting in the 11th position, and just alongside of him is going to be PM221, who's starting 10th. It's his runner-up the last season. This might be a chance for him to get things on track. Ludicrous Speed is going to start right in front of him. The defending series champion 9th. In front of him, GTRC Jacob will be starting 8th. In that Chevy. 7th is going to be the fastest Ford GT in the field, Ferraribss. 6th is going to be Rockmaro in the Lamborghini. 5th is going to go to Draggers X Ferrari, who finished 2nd at Daytona and won the Daytona preseason event. 4th is going to be Kazu Belli, the first of 4 drivers who got in the 120 mark. Then we have Foxy Gaming, who's going to be starting right alongside him. PzFrenchFryMan, who's going to be starting 2nd. And first is going to be AMS Chum. Our pace car will be pulling off momentarily, and we'll be underway here. It's going to be a rolling start here at Long Beach. The back of the field desperately trying to all line up, and we are underway here at the streets of Long Beach in California, and we're almost 3 wide back there in the second row. They're neck and neck for a top spot, though. AMS Chub and PzFrenchFryMan, as they're going to go under heavy braking here, and this is where everyone's been really concerned about a massive incident. And already drivers are bouncing off the wall in the back of the field. But it looks like everyone's got through the first corner. But JTRC Jacob gets spun. He gets turned into Rockmorrow. It's got blocked near the entire track as they come out of the hairpin corner. Everyone's focused. And JTRC Jacob is backwards still. And everyone is going to have to go to single file as caution flag comes out. Everyone made it through the first corner okay. But JTRC Jacob ended up ramping over the flower bed at the fountain corner and cut back onto the track right into Rockmorrow, spun Rockmorrow in front of the entire field. As we're going to go ahead and take a look, where is Rockmorrow at the moment on the circuit? So Rockmorrow was able to come out of it in the 5th position. So despite that, he was actually able to gain a place. But still very, very interesting and chaotic start here at Long Beach. So now the restart is going to be single file. So that means the driver at the front, AMS Chum, is going to kind of be given a freebie, because unless PZ has those gears dialed in perfectly on the straights, it's unlikely he's going to be able to directly challenge AMS Chum on the straightaway. Chum, as we said before, he got the pole here today. He also got pole at Spa and Le Mans last season. He's very good at running out there all by himself. Coming down to the green flag here. 65 mile an hour to the line, and then the moment the leader goes under the line, everyone gets going once again. Kazubeli has actually gotten by Foxy Gaming on that initial box start. Heading down the straightaway here, though. AMS Chum is going to try and keep it in front of PzFrenchFryMan. PZ is going to look to the outside. He's not able to make anything work right away. As they head down to the fountain corner, PZ puts the bumper to Chum, tries to let him know he's there. But for the moment, Chum is going to hold steady. But I want to take a look at this battle for 3rd and 4th place between Kazubeli and Foxy Gaming. Foxy very plainly seems to believe that he should be ahead of Kazubeli here. And now Rockmorrow is actually going to come to the outside. He's going to try and overtake Foxy on the outside there. And AMS Chum has gone around. AMS Chum is in the wall. And who else is that involved with them? That might have been our front row stars. Yes, PzFrenchFryMan and AMS Chum both got in a tire barrier there at the end of the circuit. This means that the lead has now gone to Kazubeli. The entire setup of this race has just completely been shifted. So with Kazubeli now up front, he's going to be the one leading Foxy Gaming, and the Lamborghini of Rockmorrow is going to be 3rd. And we are under the yellow flag once again after our 2 leaders took each other out. Coming to the start-finish line, are they going to be going green at this point or not? And yes, they're going to go green here. So, oh wow, Rockmorrow got a humongous jump. Rockmorrow was able to get all the way from 3rd to 1st on that restart. And now Ludicrous Speed is right there with Kazubeli. Foxy Gaming slipped all the way back to 4th. Kazubeli gets sideways, almost bangs it into Foxy there as they go round the fountain corner once again. So it's a Lamborghini and a 4GT now running up front. Looking a little bit farther back in the field now, this is PM221. He's worked his way up into the 7th position in a tense battle with Ferraribss as they're on the short straightaway here. And now here comes AMS Chum. He's going to duck to the inside of PM221, try and get by. He makes a little contact with the inside wall, but they're going to get through. And we may be on track to put down our first full clean lap as Ferraribss is trying to work on the bearded guy as they get onto the back straightaway here. PM221 slightly bounces the outside wall as they go down the back stretch now. Heading down to this tight 90-degree corner, and then we're going to go through one of the faster corners on this circuit, straight into the hairpin, the final corner here. And Ferraribss and the bearded guy get into it, and the bearded guy gets put into the wall. He's going to fall to 9th position after that. He's back underway now, though, but he might lose another spot to Expulsoro here in 10th, and PzFrenchFryMan, who's coming up fast in the 11th position now. They're almost 3 wide, and Expulsoro's going to back out of it. PzFrenchFryMan is going to push it, though. They're still neck and neck as they're going to head into the fountain turn, and this time the bearded guy is the one who blanks. PzFrenchFryMan is going to climb up into the 9th position now. Now the beard guy's gonna have to try and hold off Excolero one more time. The beard guy bounces off the wall. TacticalFallout is now working his way up through the field, trying to get and crack the top 10 as he chases the beard guy. Dino Prime gets in the back of Excolero as now Excolero is falling rapidly downwards through the field. Meanwhile, as we look back up to the front of the field, it's the Lamborghini of Rockmaro who has sailed out into the lead. Partially, though, on the back of his teammate, PzFrenchFryMan, getting wrecked on the first restart. But if you look behind them, the battle between second and fourth is extremely hot. Foxy Gaming is working desperately on Kazubelli. BMW versus Nissan as they round the hairpin corner. Foxy has to back out of it to keep from running into Kazubelli's rear end. As they head down the straightaway now, Foxy is going to actually lose time to Kazubelli on the straight. That Nissan does not seem to have the same straight line speed here that did at Daytona. As Kazubelli is holding steady in third, and he's actually closed in just a little bit on Ludicrous speed as they went down to turn number 1. However, that Ford GT, very, very solid going through corners. That's one of the strongest points that Ford GT has had last season and this season. Ludicrous is going to stay in the second position, and Foxy is going to close right back into Kazubelli through these corners as AMS Chum farther back has now caught his teammate GTRC Jacob, and these two are going to be fighting for a little bit now. Two Americans, as their British teammate is currently up there in fourth just ahead of them. And we are under the yellow flag now, it would appear. Are we? No, I don't think we're under the yellow flag. Yes, so we are under the yellow flag here at Long Beach. So everyone has pulled into a single file line right now, and it's going to be interesting to see what the entire strategy is going to be for everyone. Ludicrous Speed does not have the speed, obviously, to match Rockmaro down the straightaways, but he has the better handling car. He might be able to get ahead of Rockmaro when they go through the fountain section if Rock ends up making a mistake. And we are back underway once again here. And farther back, that's Ferraribss going on the outside trying to pick up spots by I shouldn't say jumping start, but better anticipating the start. But as they head down, Kazubelli and Ludicrous Speed are going to be neck and neck farther back there. Kazubelli desperately trying to see if he can get up there. And Foxy Gaming goes around! Foxy Gaming gets spun off the bumper of his teammate, Jacob. He's backwards there in the fountain corner, and he's going to drop all the way to the last place. This is a very, very unusual position for this driver. Normally, we see him in, well, excuse me. Normally, we see him up near the front. So seeing him now in the back of the field is going to be extremely different. In fact, I don't even think they threw the yellow flag for that single car spin. No, they're still underway. So he's going to need a caution to come badly. Nope, we are under caution. Okay, so there is a yellow flag out, and he is going to be able to catch back up to the back of the field. As we look back once again at our leaders. So now GTRC Jacob moves up into the fourth position after his teammate FoxxyGamingHD ended up spinning right off his front bumper through the fountain corner. And we go underway here, and Kazubelli and PM221 is the one who's trying to make up positions early this time. He's in sixth position, trying to go on the outside of Ferraribss now, heading down to the straightaway. And who's going to blink first? And it's going to be neck and neck, but it's going to be Ferraribss who ends up ahead of that all. So PM is going to have to go to seventh as PZ moves up into the sixth position now as he works on his quest to move up through the field. Meanwhile, farther up in the field, we do have a battle going on for the second and third position between Kazubelli and Ludicrous Speed heading down the back straightaway. Kazubelli is going to be the one who moves in front of Ludicrous on this straight here. And now as they round the corner onto the second small straightaway here. Rockmar already trying to pull up a little bit of a gap now. that U.S. Marine-sponsored BMW, trying to run down the Lamborghini. A little bit farther back, though. Gonna watch Foxy Gaming. Let's see if he's gonna be able to make his way up through the field. In fact, we're gonna ride on board with Foxy Gaming for this next lap here. Here at Long Beach. So this race has definitely had a very, very different flavor compared to last week's at Daytona. Daytona, pure green flag racing from start to end. This time, we've been slowed by 4 caution flags thus far. Thankfully, however, the field's been able to get back bunched up really quickly. And Rockmar has a little bit of an issue coming to that final corner there. He might be trying to snooker the field with that. But as we come down to the green once again, Rockmaro is going to hold on, and Jacob is going to be the one trying to get a nice move on. He was able to get right by Kazubeli. He's going to look to the outside. He's still on the outside of Kazubeli. He's not going to be able to make a move on Rockmaro yet. They're still neck and neck farther back. Everyone really quickly seems to want to... Oh, and Lucas Speed! Lucas Speed goes around and hits Jacob Farable. Jacob is back on the way. Lucas is back on the way. Everyone's going again. But I think I saw somebody in the back. I think it was Foxy Gaming who ended up in the wall trying to avoid all that. Everyone got going again. Everyone's in a straight line once more. But as we look back to the front of the field, that move ended up helping Rockmaro significantly. He now has a massive, massive gap on the rest of the field here. So last week it was Dino Prime who dominated a significant stage of that race. This week it seems to be Rockmaro who has gone to the point after AMS Chum and PzFrenchFryMan ended up wrecking themselves out of the top spot. But now we go ahead and look at this battle, and it's significantly changed. There's a Ford GT on the BMW's ass, but it's not the one with ludicrous speed. It's Ferraribss who has now worked his way up into the 3rd position. But on the straightaway, those Ford GTs does not have the same speed as almost everyone else, so he's probably going to have to hold off that Chevy of GTRC Jacob heading down the straight here. Jacob find that rear end sliding just a bit, heading into turn 1 now. The thing about Long Beach is that it's a very, very tight racing line, and there's not a whole lot of straightaways or corners where you can make outright move. This is very much a track of opportunity. You need to see somebody make a little bit of a mistake behind you in order to go ahead and seize the moment. Right now, as we're riding on board Dragger's X Ferrari, he's closed right onto the back of GTRC Jacob, and he has Lucas Speed and Foxy Gaming behind him. Heading down at the end of the back straightaway, Foxy Gaming is going to make a look on Lucas Speed a little bit farther back, but no dice, not yet at least. And it's all a traffic jam right there through that hairpin corner. Draggers actually makes a little bit of contact with the outside wall. That's going to hurt his exit momentum a bit. Heading down into turn number 1 this time, and Lucas was actually able to keep relatively even speed-wise, but he does not try to go quite as deep. Draggers went really deep into the corner and bounced off the wall. And through here, the fountain corner, that's not optimal passing position, but if someone makes a mistake, that's probably one of the best places to capitalize on it, because after that, it's just a series of nice, tight corners with short straightaways, not really fast enough to really come back and defend yourself. So everyone seems to have gotten really nice and pieced out. Was under our longest green flag run we've had thus far today, and Rockmaro is gapping the rest of the field at the moment. Second place goes to Kazu Belly, who is also in the same way gapped third place, which is Ferraribss237. All three of these drivers are not oh, and someone is sideways back there. It looked like Dragons X Ferrari got sideways at the end of the straightaway, but Foxy Gaming has moved by him and Ludicrous Speed, so now Foxy Gaming has worked his way up into the 5th position. So Foxy is on a mad charge back to the front after getting spun out off of his teammate Jacob's front bumper. There's roughly a 1.3 second gap between himself and Jacob right now. Foxy being very opportunistic with his moves right now, cutting his way right up through the field in record time. And Foxy, going into this event, he said he really had not done enough practice for him to be comfortable. He doesn't even believe he did more than 35 laps of practice total for this. They didn't even get time to perfectly round out the build of that car, so the fact that he's able to drag that thing all the way back up to the front, it's absolutely impressive here. As he hurriedly tries to run down his teammate now. A little farther back in the field, trying to see if there are any battles or anything close to a battle going on right now. We are going to go ahead and point out PzFrenchFryMan. He seems to be having a really, really tough time right now. Oh, so I think PzFrenchFryMan has gone ahead and done something a little unique, and he's already made his pit stop, I believe. And with that in mind, let's see here. Yeah, I think PzFrenchFryMan has already made his stop. And with him, has the beard guy who's running behind him made his? No, I don't think the beard guy has yet. And then 12th position, that's AMS Chum. He has definitely not made his stop yet. So PzFrenchFryMan on a much different strategy, trying to pit significantly earlier than the rest of the field, hoping that he'll pick up spots as it all goes on. The front tires on Chum's machine are quickly wearing away, and now we look at Lucas Speed. All the tires on that thing have very quickly worn away. We're not even halfway through, and he's already burned the fronts down to 30%. So I imagine he's going to probably try and pit right at the halfway point of this event. Then you have 10th place, it's Dino Prime, similar, if not worse, conditions. And Exculstro's around. Dino Prime is involved as well. Multiple drivers involved in a multi-car pileup back there. I think the worst driver out of it all, who took the most damage, is Exculstro here. He's going to fall all the way back to the 12th position as a multi-car crash occurs, and this should force the entire field under yellow flag conditions now. So with the yellow flag out, we're going to look once again. Our top 7 drivers are already all caught up. TacticalFallout, he qualified dead last, 14th, but he's already cut his way through half of the field. He's in the 7th position right now. So strong run for Tactical after saying that he could not seem to get that car dialed in well for this event. We'll go ahead and look one more time at Kazubelli, and it's absolutely impressive what's going on with Kazubelli right now. He's qualified 3rd, and he's been holding his own in the top spot pretty much all day long. Fighting off with Foxy Gaming, who's been one of the strongest drivers, fighting with PzFrenchFryMan, Jacob, former race winners in the series. The only driver who doesn't seem to be able to hold even with thus far has been Rockmaro, who has a Lamborghini, so he has a nice advantage in the straights. And then you have that Ford GT of Ferraribss in 3rd position. So it's Lamborghini, BMW, Ford, Chevy, Nissan make up our top 5, and then 6 is a Dodge Viper, and then the next repeating manufacturer as TacticalFallout in 7th. So no manufacturer seems to have the upper hand thus far here today. Maybe you could make the argument that Lamborghini would, but I think, and Rockmaro, our race leader, Rockmaro, has gone ahead and made his first stop. So going to be another time under the yellow flag, another lap under the yellow flag, but multiple drivers have gone ahead and made a stop. So Rockmaro has made a stop. GTRC Jacob has made a stop. Exculstro has made a stop. Dragons X Ferrari has made a stop. Who else has made a stop? Kazubelli has made his stop. AMS Shum, he's made his stop. I think I got everyone. The bearded guy? Wait, the bearded guy make a stop also? Yeah, I think the bearded guy let me see. Bearded guy make a stop? No, the bearded guy has not made a stop yet. Okay. And he's 8th. So 7th, that's PzFrenchFryMan. He's the highest person of everyone who has already made a stop thus far in today's event. And then in front of him is PM221. He has definitely not made a stop yet. 5th place is Dino Prime, who has yet to make a stop. And all these drivers, they've gone through about a third of their tank. Ludicrous Speed has gone through a significant amount. He's already at 59%. I can't imagine Ludicrous Speed is going to have any strategy other than to stop right at the halfway point if he can do it. 3rd place is TacticalFallout now. And 2nd place is going to be Foxy. So Foxy now goes back to the point, but he's going to have to pit again. And then in the lead, it's the Ford GT of Ferraribss. Now the question is the back end of the field all going to be able to catch up to this lead group before the end of this lap? Go ahead and close down the telemetry. Are they going to go green this lap? Normally, Race Control likes to have the entire lead pack all grouped up together. It doesn't look like that's going to be able to happen this time, though. Coming to the line, are they going to go green? Yes, they went green, despite the fact that a bunch of drivers in the back of the field have not pitted yet. I mean, I've already pitted, but hadn't caught up. So now those drivers in the back, they're going to absolutely need to see, and Foxy Gaming is going to go darn, and Ferraribss gets turned into the wall as Foxy Gaming goes to dive on him. So Ferraribss goes from 1st to 8th now, and multiple drivers have made extra pit stops as well. What is going on? So numerous drivers have just gone ahead and made alternate pit stops. And the leaders are back under a slow condition, I think. No, the Lears are still running. So the entire field seems to be completely... What in the... What is going on? So Ludicrous Speed has now picked up the lead position in front of Foxy Gaming. And on the screen, we can look right now. You can see drivers who are still going through the first few corners of the circuit. They're trying desperately just to make it. And they're hoping the yellow flag comes out. And Foxy Gaming and TacticalFallout make contact back there in the second position. They're battling rough back there. And Dino Prime is going to get by both of them. Dino Prime's been in the back of the field most of the day. But now he's gone ahead and cracked the podium. We're going to go ahead and close the map down. And PzFrenchFryMan now, he's the highest ranked driver, has already made his stop. He's fighting for a 4th position there. Tactical's going to get by. Ludicrous Speed is now the man on point up front. But all these drivers, with the exception of PzFrenchFryMan, are still going to have to pit again. And Foxy actually looks to be closing on our defending series champion at a respectable clip right now, as we're closing into the race's halfway point here. And PzFrenchFryMan now drops a few places. Oh, and Foxy Gaming! Foxy is now going to pit out of the 2nd position. So we're going to ramp the map, and this is going to be a thing. Where is Foxy going to come out onto the track in relation to the other drivers who pitted on that prior caution? Rockmaro's 12th, and he was leading before. Foxy is back underway, but this is a very, very long pit lane. Foxy has fallen to 11th now. Rock is on that back straightaway. But I think the fact that the field didn't get bunched up under that yellow flag, and then these 3 drivers made another pit stop, might end up hurting them significantly. Foxy is still coming around, but he's really quickly approaching the end of the pit lane. Rockmaro is trying to get through the hairpin corner. Foxy's just about to exit pit lane here. Rock is out of that hairpin corner, but he's going to have to make up this entire straightaway and fast if he wants to end up closing in on Foxy Gaming. Foxy is back underway now. Rock is still on that straightaway. You can see him far back there in the distance. Foxy's going to merge slowly back on, but there's no doubt about it. Foxy Gaming is going to be significantly in front of the rest of the field, front of the rest of the drivers who have already stopped. And now Ludicrous Speed, our next leader, has gone ahead and made his stop. So where is Ludicrous Speed going to come out in relation to Foxy Gaming? That is our new question. Following Foxy here, and on the map, you can see in pit lane, Ludicrous Speed and Ferraribss, so the 2 Ford GTs, made their stop right at the halfway point of this event. Are they going to be ahead or behind Foxy by the time they leave start-finish line? Foxy's on that straightaway now. Oh, so wait, Ludicrous Speed's already off. Wait, why is Ferraribss still on? So Ludicrous Speed made a very quick stop. No, he's not. Okay, no, okay, I misread the map, I will admit. So here comes Ludicrous Speed. He's going to merge back onto the track now. He's got cold tires. Foxy has hot tires behind him, but I think Ludicrous has enough of a gap that he's going to be able to hold in front of Foxy here. Yes, he does. And now we go ahead and look at our current leader. He led a bunch of laps at Daytona prior. It's Dino Prime 77, and he's going to keep that Chevrolet up in the top spot for a while, he actually has a pretty significant gap between him and second place PzFrenchFryMan. And behind PZ is the other Rebel Racing driver, TacticalFallout. So despite the fact that the Chevy GTs run by Rebel Racing have been having a lot of issues under qualifying and practice, they've been able to put it all together, and they're now ranked first and third here at Long Beach. And we are under our longest green flag run we've had yet in this event. Now, I do want to go ahead and point out this battle that's going on. Three-way battle for the moment for 12th, 13th, and 14th between Jacob, Kazubeli, and Ferraribss237. All three of these drivers, some of the fastest on the track, but when they pitted under yellow, the field was not allowed to group back up, and they actually pitted a second time. And now they're so far out of touch, I can't imagine they're actually going to be able to pull out a good finish, despite the fact that they are easily some of the fastest cars on the track here. And they're all right on top of each other also. And then you also have Rock, who was leading. He was leading, pitted out of the lead, but because of just kerfuffling and stuff, he's now behind, going to probably be behind every other driver who pits. So unless Rock is able to put down some flying laps, or a yellow comes up that bunches up the field that he can gain some positions, I think his chance at the win may have just evaporated from his eyes. And then you have Foxy Gaming. Foxy pitted under green flag conditions. He might still be in a good position, but he got beaten out on the overall cycle by defending series champion Ludicrous Speed. And no one else, as far as I can tell, has pitted yet. Here in 8th place, this is Excosero. And Excosero made only a single stop that prior time. So he's really running all by himself. He's almost guaranteed to pick up all the spots of the drivers in front of him once they all pit. But it's not likely that he's going to be able to actually make overtakes on the racetrack. And we're looking at 7th place. This is Draggers X Ferrari. And let's see if he's pitted yet or not. So Draggers X Ferrari has already pitted and made his stop today. Then 6th place is the Bearded Guy. The Bearded Guy has yet to stop in this event tonight. 5th place is AMS Chum, who started on the pole. And we have a caution. So are they going to let the entire field actually gather up like they're supposed to? That's the question. Because right now the top 7 are all running a race of their own, then the rest of the field is all kind of spread out. TacticalFallout burning those rear tires down for some reason. TacticalFallout, I think he missed his pits. And he's going to back up. Nope, he's going again. That's weird. I don't know what he was doing there. Okay. So he's going to probably be given back his 3rd place position, I'd imagine. No. Okay, so we have no idea what's going on there. But the back end of the field is now finally gained their chance to catch up. So here under caution at Long Beach, just a little bit past the halfway point, and the entire field is finally gaining a chance to all gather and catch back up. But for drivers like Jacob, like GTRC Jacob, Rockmaro, Kazubeli, drivers who are top 3 without a doubt, it's going to be a hard charge because they're going to have to fight their way up through the entire field just to get back and even remotely challenge for a victory here. And the drivers we have up front, Dino Prime, PzFrenchFryMan, PM221, AMS, these 3 drivers, they've not shown a lot of speed or promise today. Well, PZ qualified 2nd, but then got knocked out. So it's going to be very interesting to see. So very, very unique faces here at the front of the field, just past this halfway point. And Dino Prime, once again, finds himself in the lead of a GT race as they go down this back straightaway here. The entire field's finally all caught up. And we want to remind you one more time, PzFrenchFryMan has already made his mandatory required stop for the event, and he's currently sitting 2nd. We're going to follow on board with PZ on this restart here. And Dino Prime, is he going to make his stop? Dino Prime has gone ahead and pitted out of the top spot, and TacticalFallout is going to join him. Coming down the line, are they going to go green? They're still under yellow flag, so another lap of yellow flags racing here. Well, not even racing, just yellow flag pace lap here. As our two Rebel Racing drivers have gone ahead and pitted. So that means 12th place will now go to Ferraribss. So, going through the entire field, we know our leader, PzFrenchFryMan, has already made his required stop. But what about PM? Has he made his necessary stop yet? There's no way. PM is going to have to pit again still, even though he's second. Third place is AMS Chum. Chum has definitely made his stop already. Fourth place is the bearded guy. He has not, I don't believe the bearded guy has made his stop yet. Dragon's X Ferrari. He has made his stop. And we already saw Skolsero made his stop. So I believe our second and third place drivers are the only guys left in the field who have yet to make their final stop. Wait, Chum has made a stop. So it's our second and fourth place drivers. So realistically, PM221 is the spanner in the works for this lead battle. He still has yet to pit, while a driver in front of him and everyone behind him pretty much has already pitted as well. So regrettably, this will probably end up knocking PM to the back of the field when he finally does make that stop, though. It'll be 16 laps to go when they come to the line. We're going to follow AMS Chum and see if he's able to overtake PM and go chase after PzFrenchFryMan right away here at Long Beach. Coming down to the green flag. AMS Chum got by PM221 without any issue whatsoever, and the field is all over the place back there. PM221 glances off the wall back there. A little farther, we look a little farther back now. It looks like everyone's gotten it single filed pretty quickly. Foxy Gaming has been having a rough go at it. He's fallen now all the way to 12th, if not lower. 13th. So Foxy has actually fallen all the way to 13th position. He's just ahead of TacticalFallout. And then Rockmaro, he's there in 11th after leading a significant amount early on. But I think that was an instant. We may be under the... Nope, we're still racing. We're still under racing conditions. And AMS Chum and PzFrenchFryMan, the two fastest qualifiers, are now battling for the top spot here. PZ pitted significantly earlier than AMS Chum, so he's going to have more worn tires as this goes on. But unless we have another yellow flag, it looks like this will probably end up being the battle for the lead when it comes to the rest of this race. PZ, you're trying to use every bit of track available. So look a little farther back. This is Skolsero here in the third position. Open up a very small gap on the Fane Series champion Ludicrous speeding that Ford GT. And Kazubelli, props to Kazubelli. It looked like he was going to be in the back of the field. He has worked his way up into the 5th position now. Easily the highest trending of all our drivers. And we have a battle up ahead. And it looks like Kazubelli might be able to capitalize on this battle if... And no, Skolsero is going to end up staying ahead of Ludicrous speed. But you can see Ludicrous gain all over. That Ford GT is extremely, extremely racy today. And that BMW gets right there. It's going to be BMW versus Ford Power heading down the straightaway. I think that BMW has enough straight line speed. Yes! Kazubelli is going to go up into the 4th position now. And now he's going to work on Skolsero. He wants that podium spot. Oh, and Explosive gets sideways right in front of them all. He's going to get into Ludicrous Speed. And the entire field now stacks up as they come up to the straightaway here. Ludicrous Speed goes in the front, but that's the slowest of all the cars here. And they're too wide right there behind them. This is going to get tense. This is going to get mad tense. Coming up on it. Here comes the BMW. He's going to look to the inside. No dice. And everyone's going to get single file before they get into turn number 1 there. But Ludicrous Speed now goes up, and I think someone just went to the wall back there. Explosive went into the wall, and he's now fallen all the way back to 10th, and might even lose that to Dino Prime and Foxy Gaming. And Dino Prime, they're all involved. Foxy Gaming, Explosive, Dino Prime, all involved in a multi-car incident there. Is that going to throw a yellow flag? Yes, we have a caution. Sorry, I can't help. I can't help but say it with that awkward accent. We are back under the yellow flag here, and this battle between PzFrenchFryMan and AMS Chum. Now they're gonna have to contend with the drivers behind them, Ludicrous Speed and Kazu Belly. So this entire event is now up in the air. Is the entire field going to be able to get together? I don't think the entire field is going to get together. Who's that in dead last? So the bearded guy is still going to have to rush around to try and catch up to the back end of the field here. We aren't going green yet, so he has time enough to go ahead and finish this. Now here's the big thing. When is PM221 going to go ahead and make his stop? Because you can see he's burned through over half his fuel. All his tires are in the orange now. He still has yet to pit. This race has mandatory stops. He was second. He actually slid back, so I think those worn tires are hurting him a bit also. Anyway, PzFrenchFryMan, credit to him, he has also put down our fastest lap of the event thus far in today's race. Has the beard guy caught up to the back of the field yet? He's just about to catch up to the back of the field. And once he's caught up, we should go back under green, and it will be with 12 laps to go. Yeah, 12 laps to go. So we look back at our leaders. AMS Chum, PzFrenchFryMan. We're actually going to follow AMS Chum as we come down to this restart, see if he's able to do anything to PZ. And right behind him, it's Ludicrous Speed. Now, as we said before, Ludicrous does not have, in those 4 GTs, they do not have the greatest straight line speed, but through the corners, we might see some interesting stuff by that SpaceX-sponsored machine. Coming down to the green flag here. AMS Chums looks to the inside. He does not have the speed or momentum. He's going to try and push the issue. He's going to dive to the inside. They're going to make contact for a top spot. PzFrenchFryMan gets knocked off the circuit. No, he's not. He's back on. He's on. And Kazu Belly, AMS Chum, they get around right in front of the entire field. And now Kazu Belly hits stern into the tire barrier. He's back underway. But what was sure to be a top 5 finish has now dropped him to the 7th spot in the field. Rockmore was the biggest beneficiary of that. He's able to work his way up into the 5th position. But our leader, he made contact with the wall, but it didn't matter. He's PzFrenchFryMan, and 2nd position, defending series champion Ludicrous Speed. He's going to have to try and hold off AMS Chum. Unless we're under yellow flag. I think we may be under yellow flag. Yes, we are under the yellow flag once again. Okay. Coming down the green flag. Is PzFrenchFryMan going to be able to hold off AMS Chum? Chum made a huge move on PZ on that prior restart. He's not even going to have to worry about Ludicrous speed this time. In fact, Ludicrous is going to have to worry about Jacob as they round that first corner this time. And Ludicrous is going to hold on to third position. But that 4GT is really not strong on the restarts here at Long Beach. And that 4GT, we see that rear end sliding just a bit as they apply the power coming out of this short straight here. AMS Chum looking to maybe make a move on the inside of PZ, but no dice through that corner as they're on to the back straightaway once again. And there's a battle back there for a fourth position between GTRC Jacob and Rockmaro. Jacob's going to hold on to the spot for the moment, but Rock definitely has the speed to challenge him, and he might be able to get by Jacob on the next straightaway. So despite some kerfuffling under pit stops, Rock might be able to fight for fourth spot. Kazubeli's back there in sixth. And here comes Jacob. Jacob's going to make the move on Ludicrous speed. This time by, they're going to be neck and neck once again through turn one. They're still neck and neck. No one's going to back out of it by the looks of it. Ludicrous speed goes over the grass to maintain his spot. That's I guess a defense in the grass. And now Jacob has to fight with Rockmaro for that position, that fourth place position. And Kazubeli is right there also. Kazubeli's going to end up getting a good run. And here comes Dragon's X Ferrari as well. They're both going to try and get by Rock. But Rock wants to try and get by Jacob as the entire field's stacked up here. And it's going to be interesting if that move by Ludicrous Speed, where he basically went through the grass, is going to be considered legal or not. He really had nowhere to go. There was no track for him to go. Even if he backed out of it, it's likely that he would get run over by Rockmaro. But still really, really interesting to see. So here's Jacob and Rock fighting for that fourth position right now. Chevy versus Lambo. And those rear tires skidding just a bit. Maybe Rock will be able to get by Jacob this time. He has the speed, but does he have enough speed to be able to outright beat Jacob? No move yet. Kazubeli and Dragon's X Ferrari are fighting just a little bit behind them. Meanwhile, back up front, AMS Chum stalks our leader, PzFrenchFryMan. These two drivers qualify on the front row. It looks like they might finish 1-2 as well. And in third place, Ludicrous Speed. Podium would be solid considering Daytona ended up being a little bit better than he anticipated. A podium here would definitely help his points. And in fourth place, Rockmar. Oh, Rock actually has gotten by Jacob. So now Rock is flying and he might be able to get by Ludicrous Speed for that third position before the race ends, but I don't imagine he'll be able to influence the lead battle before the race is over. So Rock, a fourth place finish here, coupled with a third place finish last week. I imagine that will probably vault him to the top of the field in points, unless Draggers finishes really solidly here. And Draggers just moved himself up into the fifth position. Jacob seems to be having a little bit of an issue putting the power down in some of these corners, but he's got straight line speed to make up for it, though. Heading down this main straightaway, we gotta go into turn one. Jacob's back in front, and now it's Kazubeli once again gonna try and make a move on Draggers. And Draggers does get into that wall there. The beard guy has made his stop. PM221 is right there. I don't think PM221 has made his stop yet in this event. Coming around. And Jacob is still going to hold on to Draggers. So as they round the corner, you can see everyone from like 5th on back is all piled on top of each other right now. Kazubelli getting really racy there with Draggers. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Kazubelli for just a bit. Alright, we're going to go ahead. It seems like TacticalFallout has dropped out. We're going to try and get a word in from him as to what happened that caused him to drop out of this event. Kazubelli is now gotten by Jacob here. So Kazubelli's worked his way up into the 5th position. A little farther up for 3rd. Ludicrous speed. Laps are winding down. He's got a gap on Rock, but it's going to be interesting to see if he's actually going to be able to do anything with it. But meanwhile, up in front, the lead has changed hands. While we were busy focusing on the back of the field, AMS Chum has gotten by PzFrenchFryMan. By a significant amount by that. Wait, where'd PzFrenchFryMan go? PZ has fallen all the way to 4th now. Wait, what happened? It might have been a case where PZ may have gotten himself knocked into the wall, as he's now dropped all the way back to the 4th spot now. So what looked like a possible win is all going to come down to now if he can beat his teammate Rock to the podium. Disappointing run for PZ, but so now it's AMS Chum who leads at the front of the field. It's 6 laps to go, and he's got 4.5 seconds over Ludicrous Speed right now. Ludicrous has 2-second gap between himself and Rockmaro. And then between Rock and PZ. PZ is basically right on his teammate's rear bumper. Well, a little bit off of his teammate's rear bumper. So now I have to wonder if maybe him hitting so significantly early compared to the rest of the field has caused PZ to start dropping off as those tires are getting significantly worn. He's at the 45. And there's a massive stack up in the back of the field! And that's a yellow flag. I didn't get to see what happened, but it looked like about 3 or 4 cars were all piled up there at the start of that straightaway. So now Chum, who looked to be sailing off to a victory for sure, is now going to have to contend with defending series champion Ludicrous Speed. Those two got into it last season at Spa and took both of themselves out of a victory. And he may also have to compete with the Lamborghinis of Rockmaro and PzFrenchFryMan. So as we're under the yellow flag right now, I believe the entire field should be able to gather it all back together. The beard guy's way off the pace today, though. It'll take him a little bit to catch up. When they go green, it should be with 4 laps to go. We'll bring up the map real quickly just to kind of keep track if the beard guy's going to be able to gather up in time. PM221, he also seems to be having a rough time. He did get up into the front earlier, but it was on just not pitting. And now he has stopped. He's buried back there in the 12th position. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch up to the lead group before we go green or not. Yeah, I don't think PM is going to be able to catch up before they get to the line. So are they going to go green this time or not? That's the question. We're going to follow our second place driver, Ludicrous Speed. They're going to be coming to the green flag. It will be 4 laps to go. Can Ludicrous Speed or one of the Lamborghinis behind him make a move on Chum? Rockmar's already looking to the outside of the Ford GT. Going down the straightaway here. Without even blinking, Rock moves up into the second position. Can he make any moves on AMS Chum? Ludicrous slides back to third. He's going to have to hold off his spot from PzFrenchFryMan now. Sandwich between Lamborghinis. Rockmaro, is he going to be able to do anything to Chum? Or is Chum going to be able to go ahead and win his second race in what would only be his 6th career points-earning start? Ludicrous Speed caught right back up to Rock's rear bumper. Coming down to it. Ludicrous Speed right there. There's a little bit of what looks like drifting going on back there between Jacob, PzFrenchFryMan, and Draggers as they're all fighting for that 4th position right now. Three laps to go. So we look back to the front once more. Chum pulling off a very, very healthy lead ahead of Rockmaro right now. The battle is for second between Rockmaro and Ludicrous Speed. A little bit farther back, we look at Foxy Gaming. Last week's winner, barely holding on to a 10th place right now. Back there with the likes of Dino Prime, Skulsero, and Kazu Belly. All fast drivers in their own right, but apparently not fast enough. When the leader, AMS Chum, crosses the line, it will be 2 to go, and there will be no more yellow flags for the rest of this event. Coming to the line. It's green to the end now. AMS Chum, it's clear behind him, clear in front of him. He may be sailing to a 2nd career victory in the IESC GT Series. And it looks like PzFrenchFryMan has gotten by Ludicrous Speed, and PZ goes right off the circuit there at the end of the straightaway. I think he might have locked it up, and to avoid running into anyone, he just simply went off circuit. He's merging back on, but he's fallen all the way to 11th. Very reminiscent to what happened to Will Power in this year's IndyCar race in at Long Beach. So this means that GTRC Jacob is now back into the 4th position. But he doesn't seem to be close enough to be able to make any potential moves on Ludicrous Speed for a 3rd spot. And Ludicrous himself has dropped off a bit from Rockmaro. Here's the battle from 8th, 9th, and 10th. Skulsero, Foxy, Dino Prime. Seems to be the only significant battle going on. And Foxy just dumps Skulsero at the end of the straightaway. Well, that was unexpected. I don't know. It almost looked like Skulsero might have brake-checked Foxy, considering it happened before they really even got to the line. We're under the white flag now. It's the final lap here. Solstro is following Foxy now. There might be a little bit of payback that comes down here. Pull up the map real quickly so that way I can kind of keep track when our leader crosses the start-finish line. PzFrenchFryman back there in 11th. If something does go down between these two, he'll gain one more position. Solstro really having trouble putting traction down, it seems, coming out of the corners. But I don't think anything's going to happen between these two drivers. At least it doesn't look like it. So back up to the front. AMS Chum, his teammate Foxy, won the first race of the season at Daytona. AMS Chum, he's going to come out of the final corner, and he should be able to win the second race of the season here at Long Beach, our first ever street event. In second place, he's going to come down the line between Rock Morrow and Ludicrous Speed. Ludicrous Speed is going to come home third. Jacob is going to come home fourth. Fifth place is going to go Dragons X Ferrari. Sixth, Ferrari Boss. Seventh, Kazu Belly. Eighth is going to... Wait, Dino Prime got eighth? What? Did something actually happen between Foxy and Exculsoro that I didn't see? There may have been some sort of payback there. PzFrenchFryman will come home in the 11th position. 12th is going to be PM221. And 13th should be the bearded guy, as he's rounding the final corner right now. I'm not sure if something went down there at the end, but one way or another, one thing's for sure. We're going to have to talk to AMS Chum. All right, first up, we're going to start up with AMS Chum. Go ahead, include your audio, and share with us what just happened there. And congratulations on winning, but Chum, how did that turn out for you?
I mean, it was pretty good. In the end, I was just able to pull away from the people when I don't specifically remember when, but that was that point. I tried, and with the early pit stop, I tried doing that, and then I just went in again because I was like, why not? I'm already in the pack again, so I might as well make sure I can make it to the end. But, I mean, that was kind of the race, just me worrying about that until lap 14, but yeah, that was about it.
After you got wrecked on that initial restart between you and PzFrenchFryman, did you think you had any chance at coming back to a victory?
I thought I could, and I was thinking that's when I would be able to pit, so I could get the pit out of the way, still be last, and then wait for another caution to catch back up. But I mean, worked out in the end. I just had to wait a couple more laps, and then I was able to catch back up, and then pit again to be safe.
Right. Well, either way, Chum, congratulations on your second career victory. And not only that, it's your second time you've won in this series from the pole position also. So, yeah. Solid job. I believe you may have had the fastest clean lap in the event as well. Yes, you had the fastest clean lap in the event as well. So you came out here with maximum points. So congratulations on that.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, and now also we want to go ahead and talk to our second place finisher, Rock Morrow. Rock, go ahead, include your audio. Second place, how do you feel?
I feel great. It was a good race. I led for the first, I'd say maybe 13 to 15 laps, kind of boosted everything else for the whole race. So I was like, okay, pit now and gain ground. So after pitting with the 5 cars behind me, after pitting, 5 other cars behind me decided to pit. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. We're going to catch up to the pack again. We're going to get going. And then 3 of us got called for crossing the yellow lines too early. So we had to go back again. We had to go pit again. But a lucky caution in the fountain section kind of saved us. And from there, everybody pit. I gained ground and brought me back up.
So when it came down, do you think there was anything you could have potentially done if there was another restart against AMS Sumner?
Maybe the acceleration. I know me and Sean probably have the best accelerating cars in the for this track, but Chum's the better driver, and I feel like he still would have came out on top, and I have no problem with that.
All right, so I don't have the final lineup yet, but I do think that with a third place at Daytona and a second place here, I do believe you should leave today with the points lead. So, anything else you want to say before we move on?
Nope, I'm cool. We're cool.
All right. Well, there's
cool.
your second place finisher, Rockmaro, who had a very up and down day. Now we want to talk to defending chief champion, Ludicrous Speed. Ludicrous, include your audio. What do you have to say?
I thought it was a rough race all around, but we came out in a pretty good spot. The car's really not built for extremely bumpy road course roads or high-intensity 90-degree corners like that. It's more built for high-speed 3G, lateral G corners, and just overall acceleration. Of course, the track was built for acceleration. We just couldn't really turn the corners as well. But we came out with a good third finishing place. And this race really wasn't for me or for the team or anything. On Monday, my youngest dog, Willie, was put down due to an unfixable medical problem. So I don't know if anyone noticed in the back of the car, it says for Willie 2011 to 2019. The motto of at least my car for the rest of the season is going to be win for Willie. That's the rest of the season. It's going to be dedicated to him. So honestly, for the first race after his passing, I think we did him well, and hopefully we do him well for the rest of the season. We just really have to just look forward to Long Beach from here on, and hope we can improve on our third place finish.
All right. So I will bring this up. Last week, you said that the Ford GT was going to finally start showing its colors and ability after Daytona. Is this the colors and ability it has?
Mostly yes, partially no. Yes, because it's able to finally show the torque that it can lay down with the thinner tires. Yes, because it can actually handle some of those slower corners, and there were a couple of corners that were pretty high-paced. Of course, with the new package. And also no, because this track is partially not what it's really designed for, from the ground up, basically. Like, I've done some work, but really we just stuck with the base tune for this thing that we basically ran last season, because really this is just because the car's just so wide and so flat, but road course style bumps like on everyday driving really don't agree with this car. So really it's a yes and no situation, but overall I'd say it performed better than I thought it was going to do.
All right, that's the word from our third place finisher, Ludicrous Speed. And now I want to go ahead and talk to GTRC Jacob. Jacob, you came home fourth. Could you have done better? It seemed like you could, but
I think I could have done a lot better. Just a lot of shit going on with that last turn, and then the island, the carousel. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's like the second or third turn. Got caught up in a lot of wrecks there. I mean, I ain't gonna complain for my first race. I mean, it was a top 5 finish, so I have to go moving forward to the next track, practice a little bit more there. This track, I maybe only got 20 minutes practice, so not really that bad for my first run.
So when it comes to heading forward, do you think you're going to be able to show up to races a little bit more consistently and dig yourself out of the points hole that you're at after missing Daytona?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, Jacob sounds really confident. Anything else you want to say before we move on?
Not really that much. Appreciate Jaggers for that last bump, or going into the last turn. I knew he was gonna move on to the inside, so I started blocking that inside on that last turn.
I could have got going better there off and blocked Ferraribss for you.
Yeah, I could have had
That's
you.
all I got.
All right, well, that's it from GTRC Jacob. Came home fourth, and now Dragons X Ferrari fifth place position, along with the second place last week. It's either you or Rockbar who's going to be on top of the points battle. So, what do you have to say here after today's Long Beach event?
I mean, I wasn't expecting anything from this race. I'm rubbish on the small, twitty circuits. That's not where I am in. There were quite a lot of incidents that I'm gonna go snap after the race, and we'll discuss them. Okay, it's gonna be close in the points. I'll tell you that for anything. But you know, Long Beach is just a track to stir up all kinds of drama. So that was inevitable. It's going to happen in that, but the race, it was there. So fifth's not bad.
All right. Anything else in general before we move on down the line?
Not really.
All right. I've tried to get Kazubelli into the party. I don't seem to have any luck. And although Data Prime is here, he's not opted to say anything yet. So I'm going to have to skip over him as well. Foxy is in the party, though, right now. Yeah. Foxy, you had a great qualifying run. You started third. You were running in the top 4 for the first few laps. And then everything went wrong. What happened today? We are so not used to seeing you in the back of the field like this.
That was the single worst race I have ever been a part of. That's what's happened. Driving standards were appalling, fucking disorganized racing, just everything that could have went wrong did. Just honestly, if Indianapolis is anything like that, I'm quitting the series because that was appalling.
Anything in particular you want to point out?
Well, I think Jacob needs to read rule number 1 of motorsport, and that's don't hit your fucking teammate. There's a few other drivers I'd quite like to give a stern talking to as well, but I'm not going to fucking bother.
Alright. Well, despite this, I'll say rough patch, do you think you'll be able to rebound next week at Indianapolis by any chance?
Like I said, if that race goes anything like this, I'm quitting the series.
Alright, well, you heard it here from Foxy Gaming, folks. Very upset run, to say the least. We're also going to go ahead and try to talk to Scolaro really quickly here. I've been having trouble getting him into the party for some reason. I'm going to try and shoot him one more invite. Oh, alright. Well, that's that. So then we'll go ahead and talk to, well, is PM? Let's see if I can get PM then. But we do have PzFrenchFryMan here with us. PZ, you came home in the top spots when it came to qualifying, and you were running for potential top 3. What happened at the end there, though? Alright, well, that's the word from PzFrenchFryMan. Anything else in general you want to say before we wrap up interviews? Alright. 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 Real quickly, I think I forgot to interview Ferraribss, so just real quickly. Ferraribss, you came home 6th. I think I skipped over you when I was trying to get several other people. What do you have to say for the event in general, coming home 6th?
It was a shit race, honestly. I didn't like it. I don't know, but I got a warning for overly aggressive driving, which I didn't even mean to do. If I did, that's bullshit. But this race, I don't even like this track anyways. I don't know why it's on the calendar when like the tire barrier fucks you up every time like you like turn into the corner in turn 8. The fountain has way too many cones and like fucking wings and spoilers on it, so you legit can't run the line you can. It was a crap race.
All right, well, that's the word from the other Ford GT driver. Anything else in general you want to say heading forward to Indianapolis?
I probably have no hope for Indianapolis at this point.
All right, well, that's the word from Ferraribss, and that will finish up our interviews with our various drivers. We do real quickly want to go ahead and talk to series host Coca Gamer 11. Coca, in general, your thoughts on this race, first street circuit of the series?
Yeah, it was awful. That's all I'll say. But it's, I should have probably taken it out the week before and just skipped to Indianapolis because clearly this race wasn't good. We lost a driver from it. Everybody's threatening on leaving, and it's like, yeah, honestly, I kind of wanted to do it just to sort of shape people up for what, as in driving skill when it comes to that, and that's why I wanted it to be very variated, as in when it came to track styles, and clearly it didn't work. But yeah, honestly, I shouldn't have included this track in the first place, especially from what happened pre-season last season, and I will, if we really have to, I'm going to be looking over the schedule one last time. I'm going to take out any races that are as tight as Long Beach as what you would think. But yeah, once again, I gotta say there was an incident on lap 33 with Dino and Bearded Guy. That was completely my fault. When I heard from the other party was that Bearded Guy and Dino got straightened out, and they were kind of shouting it to me in the Discord chat, and I was like, all right, well, if so, because I never saw it from sitting back and spectating. So yeah, that should have definitely been a yellow on lap 33. It definitely should have been a yellow, and it was honestly my fault. So yeah. And yeah, there are a couple incidents we're going to be looking at. We've got clearly a ton of incidents to look at tonight and tomorrow. But yeah, this honestly was a terrible race, and I hope to never see it again, or we might need to change something up when it comes to drivers in the series.
All right, well, that's the word from Series host Coca Gamer. Anything else in general you want to say heading toward next week at Indianapolis?
I mean, luckily we're doing the classic version. I gotta make sure just one last time. I need to make sure that we are doing Indianapolis. Yes, we are. Luckily we're doing the classic version, so all of turn 1 on the oval circuit is open. We don't need to do anything when it comes to going in there, and hopefully it's not as tight, and it's a lot. There's a lot more running room at Indianapolis than there at Long Beach. Clearly, there is grass there, so we'll have people safely going into the grass if there is some sort of incident, something like that. But honestly, yeah, today was a terrible race, and yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right, well, that's it from our series host. And from California, we're going to wrap this broadcast up. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. I have been Insane Leader 13, signing off here for the IESC GT series.